Day 95 of 365 days of meditation. Just wrapped up a practice. Today was short and sweet. It was the shortest practice yet. I think it was about 38 minutes in total. So let's call it 40 minutes. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that. Maybe a little disappointed that it wasn't longer, I guess, but at the same time, I've kind of fallen into a bad habit of meditating in the evening, not the morning, and I'm tired and I just want to go to sleep. But consistency is the key, and now I work at steering the ship in the right direction and get back on that morning train with the meditation. It seems like a lifetime ago I was doing early morning, 3, 4, 5 in the morning meditations. And I would mind getting back to doing something like that, but it just hasn't been that way recently. So we'll keep up with the consistency of the practice, and I guess try to alter it a little bit here going forward. Did a guided meditation today. Kelly Howell, called Guided Meditation for Inner Peace. It's 30 minutes, and then I kind of just relaxed after it for another 8 minutes or so. So that was the total practice today. Nothing really profound. Just trying to relax into the body more. That being said, I also did some yoga this evening as well beforehand, so it's somewhat meditative, a yin practice, in a different way, of course. But yeah, like I said, from the practice itself, not a lot to report. Day to day mood seems to be quite good. Had a little blip yesterday. I think it was yesterday, or the day before. But it was really interesting, just kind of chatting with my wife about it. I mentioned this idea of feeling this sort of underlying sadness kind of well up, and just sitting with it, and not only being at peace with it, but noticing sort of she came up with the wording, I couldn't figure out how to articulate it, but a sort of sweetness to it in its quality. Something warm about that feeling. So it was kind of interesting to experience it in a different way, and to just sort of notice that emotion, and it to be within a couple hours, it kind of had disappeared. Which would not have been the normal in the past for me. Starting to feeling any type of emotion that's negative, I would have really over-focused on it, over-focused on its significance, and over-focused on the sensation or the feeling itself, and that would have just led to more of the same. So yeah, I guess a success. And it seems like meditation is working in terms of allowing me to self-regulate better, and really shorten the refractory period around any type of negative emotion. But maybe more importantly than that, seeing what I once thought of or labeled as negative emotions as not really negative, but just part of the broad spectrum of emotion that make up life, and acknowledging an experience that there can be sort of almost subtle joy, even in something that I would have previously equated to sadness and a negative emotion. It was a little bit euphoric, actually. A little bit filled with this strange joy and euphoria. It was really odd. I've never really experienced that before. So I am noticing that, in day-to-day life, just my outlook on things, my mood is changing, stabilizing, but also sort of very introspective. It feels like things are slowing down a little bit in my day-to-day life. I'm pulling at a thread. I don't quite know what that thread is that I'm pulling at, but there's definitely something going on there, and 95 days in, I'm like not even a third of the way there yet. So it's really interesting. I've gotten to this point, similar point before in terms of duration. I think I meditated for about 3 or 4 months once before, daily, and I'm really interested to see what happens, you know, when I start getting into sort of the 150, 200 day mark. The shift is very subtle. It happens slowly, and you almost can miss it if you don't pay attention, but it's definitely there. So that's it. That's all I want to report for today, I guess. And in closing, if you're struggling at all with your mental health, you know, the whole reason I started this 365-day journey was to see how it would affect my mental health. And it's been very positive. But if you are struggling with your mental health, I would encourage you to talk to somebody. There's nothing worse than suffering in silence. There's nothing worse than feeling isolated and alone when you are in a bad place mentally and emotionally. So yeah, I would encourage you, if you are there, definitely to talk to somebody, as well as to be kind to yourself and to realize that there is hope. There's light at the end of the tunnel, and the first step towards that light can be talking to somebody and getting it out there and starting to understand better what's going on, to not feel alone, and to possibly get the help you need. That's it for today. Thanks for watching, and have a great evening.